Hi, I'm Rich Torrey. Welcome to another Level Up Cartooning. All you ever need to follow along with me is a pencil and paper. It doesn't get any easier than that, right? Well, on Wednesday, we drew Mirabel Madrigal, the main protagonist from the Disney blockbuster movie Encanto. And I figured we couldn't finish the week without drawing Mirabel's Uncle Bruno. I mean, especially being that Lin-Manuel Miranda's hit song from the movie about Bruno hit #1 on Spotify last month. So in other words, in this episode of Level Up Cartooning, we're going to talk about Bruno. Sorry. Anyway, before we get started, make sure you hit the thumbs up and the subscribe button as it helps this channel to grow, and hit the bell so you never miss a lesson. All right, so let's draw Bruno Madrigal from Disney's Encanto. We're going to draw Bruno step by step, giving you the secret formula to be able to draw him again and again. If you've watched any of my other videos, you know I normally use the character's head to figure out how big the entire character is. In this drawing, Bruno is 5 heads tall. In other words, however tall his head is, his entire body is 5 of those. Okay, so let's start with that roadmap for Bruno Madrigal from Encanto. So there's our roadmap for Bruno. Now we're on to step 2. In this step, we do what I call roughing out the features. I want to remind you that until the third and final step, you want to draw as light as possible. You'll see that I use guidelines to help me to know where to put Bruno's eyes, nose, mouth, and some of the other things. We don't want those guidelines in the final drawing. So you want to draw them light enough to be able to erase them easily. Okay? So let's rough out Bruno's features. Okay, so there are the roughed out features of Bruno Madrigal. So now with the roadmap done and the features roughed out, it's time for the final step. In step 3, we get to have fun. We get to draw on Bruno's final details. We don't have to guess where to put things because we've already done all the hard work to figure that out. In this step, it's okay to draw darker, but don't press too hard or mindlessly retrace over the lines you've already drawn. Always draw with an eye on tweaking and improving until the very end. All right, so let's draw in the details for Bruno Madrigal from Encanto. Alrighty, there he is, the odd but endearing Bruno Madrigal from Disney's Encanto. So how do you think you did? Understand, if you've never drawn Bruno before, you cannot expect to have drawn him perfectly. You notice I don't spend time coloring Bruno during this video because I want my lesson to focus solely on the drawing process. Now you have the secret formula, the process for drawing Bruno from Encanto. And with that, you can draw him again and again. And by all means, color him when you're done. I promise each time you draw him, it'll be a little better and a little easier. I also promise the more you work with me, the better you're going to get at all of your cartoon characters. For those of you who want to go a little deeper, click on the link below for my free 4-part drawing series, where I spend more time explaining the details and the thinking behind each step and what I call the level up cartooning process. So I'd love to see your drawing of Bruno. If you can, take a picture and post it on either Facebook or Instagram, and don't forget to include the hashtag levelupcartooning. I hope you had as much fun as I did with this one. Remember to subscribe, and thanks for joining me. Until next time, keep drawing, my friends.